You're listening to the Shalom Sports Podcast with Jack and Gerald. Here's your host, Jack Myers and Gerald Hoover.
Greetings, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of the Shalom Sports Podcast with Jack and Gerald. He's Jack Myers, I'm Gerald Hoover, and we're happy to join you this week to give you an update on where we're at here and what's happening in the world of sports here at Shalom Christian Academy. So, Jack, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Awesome. Good to have you on today's show, and you are the king of one-liners and sports trivia, right?
Yep.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait for those one-liners to come up here during our basketball broadcast. Yeah. You also like sports trivia, basketball, shoes. What's your fascination with basketball? You just into shoes?
I'm just I like following which NBA players have which shoes and stuff. So speaking of shoes, Tyrese Halliburton just signed a big deal with Puma.
Nice.
That's probably why he hasn't been doing well. But
I saw he didn't score any points in his first game.
He scored 15 versus the Pistons. They won that game, but they've lost 3 straight. He didn't score any versus the Knicks, though.
Maybe that's the game I was thinking.
Yeah.
I saw there was a game
But
where he didn't score any.
He was shooting so terrible, so me and my dad blame it on the Puma shoes.
Uh-oh.
Because he wore Kobe's his entire career then.
Can't be changing up the shoes, I guess. That's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of shoes, did you see the Eagles game on Sunday where Jalen Hurts, he was running one and went to the sideline and somebody had kind of stepped on the back of his one shoe.
No, I
And
didn't see
his shoe came off, but it was tied so tight and double knotted they couldn't get the knot undone. So he had to put on a different shoe to come out for a series or so. It was crazy. But I thought of you when I was like that because he was wearing different shoes. I thought, oh, Jack would like that.
Yeah.
So anyhow, thanks for tuning in this week. We will get you caught up on what's happening here in the sports world at Shalom Christian Academy as we're wrapping up fall sports here at Shalom and getting set for our winter sports season. But for our varsity teams, we're going to start out with cross country, Jack, and some exciting news in cross country as coming off this past weekend's District 3 championship, we had junior Reagan Kearns qualify for the PIAA state championships in cross country, which is pretty exciting. And she will be the first Shalom athlete to compete in states for our school. And so that's pretty historic. And that's going to happen this Saturday up at Hershey, Pennsylvania, at the Parkview cross country course at 9:30 in the morning. She will be running in single A action with the girls there. And so that's pretty cool to have a state runner this year, Jack.
Yeah, really cool. She's the only athlete this year that made
Correct.
it to the States. So,
yeah,
that's pretty cool.
We didn't have any other athletes or teams qualify for states, so it is pretty exciting how far she's going to go. And so that's really exciting, and we want to cheer her on Saturday. So speaking of cross country, they just came off their District 3 championships this past weekend up at Big Spring High School, not elementary. Yeah, I'm sure the elementary's there somewhere, but Big Spring High School. And it was a lovely day up there in Newville. And in the girls' race, Jack, what happened in the girls?
Okay, so the girls finished 6 out of 8 teams. Reagan Kearns finished 4th overall with a time of 22:13, and that qualified her for the state championships. The other Shalom runners, the girls, Allie Bisor finished 36th, Hope Vasquez 38th, Savannah Miles 39th, and Lady Sauber 40th.
Yeah, so pretty much in a pack there at the end were the other runners besides Reagan. So that was kind of cool to see all them come in at one time, pretty much back to back to back almost. 4 in a row, but there was, I guess, one runner in there in that mix. But that's kind of cool to see Shalom competing well at the District 3 level, and like you said, Jack, finishing 6 out of 8 teams. So good first year for the ladies. And then on the boys' side, Jack, what happened there?
So the Shalom finished 5th out of 9 teams, and our 6 runners placed well. Shay Kane finished 20th, Logan Cordell 26th, Will Davis 27th, Noah Dernstein 33rd, Ezra Hellman 46th, and Ethan Dog 49.
Yeah, so five of the top 5 runners would have scored in that race to give us our team score. And like you said, they finished 5th overall out of 9 teams, so kind of in the middle of the pack for the boys. So future looking good. And Noah Durstein on the team who finished. He was the 4th Shalom runner to finish in the race. And I missed him last week, so I want to give a special shout-out to Noah Durstein. He was the person I was forgetting last week, but he was the lone senior boy. But everybody else will be back, and so we're looking pretty excited about what's going to happen in future years for cross country as our boys and girls did pretty well in the districts this year. So that's pretty exciting to see. And great season, and we want to congratulate our coaches, Nicole Diller and Derek Brook. They did an outstanding job with the young men and ladies, and look forward to what they are going to do in the future years for Shalom Cross Country. Next, we're going to turn to the varsity girls program. So since our podcast last week, Jack, they had their first postseason game, and that was a quarterfinal matchup as the Shalom seed in number 8, whereas at Lancaster Mennonite, the number 1 seed. What happened in that game?
So they lost 1-0 in a tough game. The Blazers scored just under 5 minutes, and but a good thing about this game is Anna Paninsky scored 18 saves, had 18 saves, which is amazing.
She did an outstanding job in Lancaster Mennonite. They were definitely the better team on the field that day. I mean, Shalom played really, really tough. Our defense held strong, and Anna coming up with those 18 saves, which was just ridiculous. She was diving all over the place, bunching those balls out, and it was just an outstanding performance by her. And second time this season we played Lancaster Mennonite, met up with them earlier in the year in a tournament, and same score, lost to them 0-1. That one went to overtime, though, earlier in the season, so must be a good matchup between us and Lancaster Mennonite.
It's tough when you lose 1-0 in overtime.
Yeah.
And then when you play them again, and then you lose 1-0 in playoffs. So it's just tough for these varsity girls.
Yeah, so, but great season for the Lady Flames as they held strong and were able to secure that last seed going into postseason play, but had an outstanding season there, led by head coach Bill Poe. He was assisted by Jason Lewis, and Shalom the ladies represented Shalom well in that game, and I was just impressed with the fans that made it out all the way to Lancaster that night.
You went to that game, right?
I did go that. I did stream that game, and they have a beautiful facility there at Lancaster Mennonite.
I saw the end of that game.
Yeah.
Like, we turned it on, and it was like 18 seconds left in the game.
Oh, okay.
So, but that field, it was really nice with the turf and stuff.
Turf field, yeah.
So that's another reason that Shalom doesn't have a turf field, obviously, so that could be tough.
I would think that would be a big advantage to a team that's used to turf field.
It's a lot faster.
It definitely is a lot faster, and I think that would be interesting if that game would have been on like a grass field or something. I wonder if that would have been a better outcome for us. But they do have great facilities down there at Lancaster Mennonite. And as we were looking at the brackets, Jack, it looks like Lancaster Mennonite is in the championship game
tonight. Yeah, at 7:00.
Yeah, so that's a great for them, as they are again the number 1 seed, and they're going to face the it looks like number 2 seed Camp Hill this evening at Central Dauphin Middle School. It looks like is where that game is going to be held. Interesting thing we've already talked about. Well, our varsity boys, their season ended last week, so we won't talk about them. But on the varsity boys PIAA Single A soccer championship, same schools.
Yeah, Lancaster Mennonite and Camp Hill. That's tonight at 5 at Central Dauphin Middle School. So
yeah, so that's kind of crazy that you have all these schools in these different divisions, but the same 2 schools are playing for the championship on the boys and girls side in
so that
soccer.
Means they have a great programs there.
Yeah, and the other thing with in the varsity boys side, Lancaster Mennonite was actually the 8 seed.
Yeah.
And they've played all the way through and are playing in the championship game, so they must be peaking at the right time, which is pretty cool. Yeah, so you're listening to the Shalom Sports Podcast with Jack and Jurl, and we're here wrapping up the fall sports season at Shalom. Our last team we're going to talk about is varsity girls volleyball. They made history last week, Jack. I think we talked about it on last week's podcast, getting Shalom's first ever district win as a team, winning in the play-in round. Then they had a quarterfinal matchup last Thursday night at Covenant Christian up in Harrisburg. And what happened in that game?
So they lost 1-3. They won the first set, then lost the tough 3. The Covenant Christian team is really scrappy, but Narita Martin finishing her last game of the season. She played really well.
Yeah, the lone senior on the team had a great last game. Unfortunately, it didn't end probably like how she wanted it or the team wanted it, but she played really, really well, and she should feel proud of how she played in that game, trying to rally her team to get that win up at Covenant. But coming up a little bit short at the end, and that's just a tough way to exit. But she had a great senior season, and we wish her the best of luck in her future endeavors. But kind of like the girls' game at Lancaster Mennonite on Wednesday, another great crowd supporting the Lady Flames on the volleyball court then on Thursday. So that's really cool to see how our fans support our school.
Well, the fall season came really fast, and
Yeah.
it went really fast too. So it's almost over. Reagan Kearns on Saturday, and then if she goes even farther, then or would that be it?
I think that's it for
that's it.
cross country. So
Saturday's the last day for Shalom's
So-
fall sports.
For fall sports, that's correct. Yep. No matter what happens on Saturday, it ends there. And I never heard of a national competition, but maybe there is something, but I'm
Yeah.
not aware of anything. I think state is kind of where it all
Mhm.
ends, but
That'd be cool if it was national.
that would be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But I don't think there is, but there might be. Who knows? We'll have to ask our knowledgeable AD that question
Murray
sometime.
Grossman.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So, yeah, that kind of wraps up the varsity sports here for the season. Not much happening in middle school. Their season ended a couple weeks ago, but basketball tryouts have started, right,
Yeah.
Jack, for both
Mhm.
boys and girls?
Got one at 3:30 today. So
Yeah, your second one.
It's coming in quick.
Yeah, how did the first one go on Monday?
First one went well. Yeah. Mhm.
That's good. Good. You weren't
Yeah.
sore or anything? He
No, not really sore.
Yeah, he didn't
That
run.
5K 3 weeks ago really helped.
That's right. That got you in shape.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. But so as we are wrapping up fall sports, we got winter sports already starting up here at Shalom. And some other things we want to talk about. So our local newspaper, The Public Opinion, they do Athlete of the Week. And this is, I guess the first time that I've seen it, that Shalom has
yeah,
two
that's cool.
athletes in the poll for this week. I think, unfortunately, I think the voting ends today. So if you're listening to this, you could maybe hop on quick here. It's Wednesday, October 30th. But and I think it's two athletes that we've already mentioned. Of course, Reagan Kearns,
Mhm.
who's going to compete at States on Saturday, is the one. And then we have senior Anna Paninsky, the varsity girls soccer goalie. She's the other athlete represented. So if you have an opportunity to get on the website there, on Public Opinion's website, and vote for those two for Athlete of the Week, that'd be pretty cool to have that honor for them as well. And then varsity basketball tryouts will begin Friday, November 15th. So that's about 2 weeks away, I think,
Yeah.
for the varsity programs.
But that's going to be during the senior. That's going to be during the senior mission trip.
Yeah, so the
So-
seniors, unfortunately, won't be around for that.
Mhm.
But I think Coach Shank kind of knows who he has. I don't even think there's any seniors on the girls' side that I can
Yeah,
think
that's
of.
interesting.
Yeah, so, but I think a lot of boys. So, yeah, that'll be interesting how coaches handle that, just the kind of the timing of everything. But, and then first home game, Jack, for basketball, Tuesday, December 2nd.
Wow,
That'll
it's
be pretty
coming
cool.
quick.
Yep. So we got that circled on the calendar. That'll be a fun night here, having some basketball action on the hardwood here at Shalom. And, of course, we'll be there on the live stream, which will be pretty exciting. And we're looking forward to that coming up in a couple weeks.
Mhm.
Anything else you can think of, Jack?
Well, we talked about basketball.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about basketball. So Iowa State, North Carolina.
Oh, going to the college
Yeah,
level. Yeah,
college.
so that's going to start next week, too. I saw on the calendar. So that's pretty exciting to see some college basketball action.
Yeah.
And I'm a Tar Heel fan. You're an Iowa State
Mhm.
fan. And you guys are ranked ahead of us to start the
Right,
preseason.
Yeah, number
so,
5. So
but you
hopefully,
yeah,
hopefully we win the whole thing.
That'd
this
be cool.
year. This is our year.
that'd be cool.
That'd be
Except for
really
the Tar Heels. That would be the only other team I'd root for ahead
Yeah.
of the Iowa State.
cool. Okay.
But yeah, so that'll be pretty cool. And
Mhm.
you just have to say, Jack, it's not how you start the season, it's how you end the season. So
Well, yeah, we're going to start good and finish good.
there
so.
you go. I like the
Yeah.
positivity. So
Well, Duke's going to be good this year.
yeah,
Cooper Flag and
they have
that big guy, I forget what his name is, but
I saw some highlights of Cooper, I think in a scrimmage that they had
Yeah.
maybe a week or so ago. And yeah, he looks like he's going to be trouble for us,
yeah.
which is unfortunate. But
hmm
that's just the way it is, Yeah, he's going to be a
Yeah.
good player.
Is RJ Davis still playing?
He is. Yep.
Is this like his super senior year, like his 6th year?
It is a 6th year, which
His
is kind of
6th year,
crazy.
yeah.
Yeah.
So what is it? What was the guy last year's name? The big guy?
Oh, Baycott.
Baycott, yeah. He had seemed like he was up there forever.
Yeah, and now RJ Davis seems
Yeah.
like the same thing. But you're
Mhm.
taking advantage of the COVID year, so
Yeah,
they are. So he's still there. So he'll be a key to their team.
yeah.
Not real huge, like not tall, but
He's like
He
6 foot tall.
can shoot the lights out, which is pretty fun to see. And that's
Yeah.
seems like that's today's game, right? Shooting the threes.
Yeah, I think if I would say any Iowa State players, nobody would know who they are.
Is
So,
that?
yeah.
We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
That's okay. That means they think they play more as a team, right?
Well, yeah. Their defense is really good. Their defense is what they're known for.
Yep. And defense wins championships, right?
Mhm.
So that sounds like it's going to be in their favor.
Yeah.
But they're in the tough. Were they Big 12?
Yeah, Big 12. Big 12's the best conference in the league.
Yep.
Way better than the ACC.
Well, the ACC's been struggling in basketball the last couple of years, but they aren't what they were at one time.
Yeah.
They used to be the powerhouse. But, yeah, you guys got number one, Kansas. I think the
we
preseason
got Houston,
number one.
Iowa State, Oklahoma and Texas aren't anymore, but they weren't really amazing.
Yeah, Texas was
pretty good.
Texas
but
was pretty
Oklahoma
decent.
Wasn't.
Yeah. So we look forward to
yeah.
cheering those teams on this season as well. That'll be pretty exciting. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it as we were getting you caught up on what's happening in the world of sports here at Shalom Christian Academy. And we'll talk to you next time.
Thanks for listening to the Shalom Sports Podcast. If you enjoyed today's content, please hit the subscribe button. That will notify you of future content.